Only 2 reasons why we're doing this episode here today, and I'm going to tell you right after the intro. And that's Kiss news and Kiss collecting. So I have a lot of Kiss news to bring to the table today. There's a lot happening in the Kiss world, and also I've been doing a lot of Kiss collecting. So that's going to be the majority of our episode today. Thank you guys for joining us. This is episode 102 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. I want to shout out the Kiss Army Things patrons real quick.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody who has subscribed to our Patreon. We really do appreciate it. As a matter of fact, before doing this episode, I filmed a solo video for the Patreon only. So if you're subscribed to the Patreon, be sure to check that out. It was super awesome. It's kind of the continuation of episode 100 at the very end. But anyway, thank you all for joining us here on another exciting episode talking all things Kiss. Last episode, we were in 73.
Yes.
Talking about the
Coventry.
early days of Kiss, Coventry, the man who owned it. We spoke to Charlie Sub, the son of Paul Sub, who was the owner of the Popcorn Pub.
So cool.
And Coventry, it was
I
really
still
cool.
can't believe you got that opportunity. That was so awesome.
It was, and so I really thank everybody who watched that episode. If not, check it out, because you get to hear first-hand accounts from stories about the Coventry. He was there when it opened. You get to hear about what it was like on the inside of Coventry, which, again, I wasn't there, so what do I know? But to hear it from him was absolutely awesome. But Daphne, you're back on the show. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to be cracking open a money bag.
Yeah, me too. So why don't you go ahead and kick us off with a Kiss Spotlight?
Yes. So my spotlight this week, you guys are probably sick of me spotlighting this album, and I'm sorry, but I just...
It's one of 2 albums. What's it going to be?
I love it. It's Carnival of Souls this week. This started because...
Whose fault is it?
It's kind of yours.
It's kind of my fault. I'll take the blame.
But kind of by extension, Brant.
Oh!
Brant, if you're watching from In My Head, the YouTube channel, you should check him out.
Yes.
But you were on a video of his. Guys just filmed last night for us. And they were kind of comparing Carnival of Souls to Revenge, kind of going track by track and comparing. And so a few days before, you were kind of prepping for that, trying to decide, because the goal was basically to pin each track number against that same track number of the other album and see which song you would choose.
Yeah.
Which is very hard, especially for those 2 albums. And so we were kind of sitting, listening through these songs, and I was like, dang, I need to listen to Carnival of Souls. I love this freaking album. And I don't even know what to say about it that I haven't said a million times before, but it's just so good. I've been jamming it in my car. I know it's not everybody's favorite, I always say that, and I know it's a complete departure from what Kiss normally is and what makes Kiss Kiss to a lot of people, so I definitely get that, but I just think the storytelling on that album, just lyrically and musically, is so good, and I just love Bruce Kulick. And
it always surprises me that you go for that album
heavy.
Because it's a heavier album, and heavy music really, it's which is fine. It's not really your thing.
Not usually.
So I love how excited you get about Carnival of Souls
Because
and how into it you get.
Because it's not just heavy to be heavy, you know what I mean?
No, of course not.
And I feel like that's, to me, sometimes what some heavier music is. Like, if it's just loud, I don't care that much.
Right.
But there's so much more to it than that, and there's so much depth. Paul's vocals on this album are incredible. The lyricism is so good. It's like poetry. I love it.
I get it. No, I get it for sure. And be sure to check out Brant's channel In My Head, because I'm not even sure that's up yet. It's either going to be up already the day before this, or it'll be up the day after this. So either way, check out Brant's channel. So I'm always listening to Jungle on Kiss 40.
Such a good song.
And Jungle is a really, really good song.
Such a good song.
And it's always surprised me how a lot of Kiss fans don't gravitate towards heavy music. A lot of Kiss fans like Kiss's music, but they don't like a lot of heavier music outside of Kiss. Whereas me, I want as much meat on it, as much heaviness as you can get.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people like just the really kind of stripped back, like straightforward rock and roll, like
Love Gun.
Yes, like classic rock. You know what I mean? Which is totally understandable. It's amazing. I love every Kiss album, but
exactly.
I like the more complex stuff.
Speaking of, that kind of segues right into my Kiss spotlight, because my Kiss spotlight is Dressed to Kill.
Okay.
I've been stuck in, which not a bad thing, but I've been stuck in the early 70s Kiss again. I'm talking to Charlie Sub and
that makes sense.
Just doing a lot of research on Kiss's club days and about the Coventry Club. So I've just been stuck in those early days, listened to the Daisy CD that we got from Glenn, and even checked out Hotter Than Hell, while I was mowing the lawn earlier today. But
Nice.
Dress to Kill is the one that's stayed on the turntable all
I
week.
see it.
And I made a post about it on Facebook and Instagram talking about how side 2 is one of the best side 2s in all of history. Anything for My Baby, Come On and Love Me. It's got Rock and Roll All Night. And,
Yes.
just what a fantastic She
Yeah.
is Love Her All I
gosh.
Can. That side 2 of Dress to Kill is just perfect, immaculate. And so Dress to Kill has stayed on the turntable. That's where I've been.
Nice.
Is with Dress to Kill.
I respect it.
And I even kind of wore this shirt. It's actually Hotter Than Hell costumes. But again, it's early Kiss.
Yeah,
so
and it's black and white.
it's black and white. Yeah. So again, I've just been sticking with early Kiss right now, and but we're back in 2024
Yes.
now. We've been taking a trip back in time. Well, now we're back in present day. I wanted to talk about some Kiss news and get to some updates because I think we're going to be touching base with at least all 4 of the current members' final lineup.
Final lineup.
Yeah, with Tommy and Eric.
Still
and
getting
so,
used to saying final lineup instead of current lineup.
Well, we can still say the current lineup.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that why
Okay.
later on in the episode, perhaps. But anyway, so either way, like I said, I know that since we took a break last week and was talking with Charlie, there was a lot of news, a lot of things happening that I just kind of kept in the back of my mind and was like, we may just have to do a break and just do a whole show about updates.
Yeah, this
And
wasn't even. We weren't even really planning on doing
one,
this episode.
No, this one's not planned.
But there is so many things to talk about, or there are so many things to talk about, and then you also have so many things to open that we're like, this will fill at least an hour. I feel like
I would literally do this as my full-time job if I could.
100%.
That would be the greatest thing ever. I would do episodes all the time for you guys. And I still do as much as I can because this really is fun. But no, I was like, we got to talk about a lot of the things that are happening, and the first thing I wanted to talk about was Paul's interview.
Yes.
First interview since December 2nd, and since the pay-per-view, which I had been wondering if Paul was ever going to do. He's been kind of the most quiet, I feel like. He's done, some art showings, art galleries. He's been posting about his painting and just, his exercise routines and all that stuff, which is great, typical Paul. But to see him talking about Kiss, the future of Kiss, the last Kiss show, and all of that was fantastic. And I know that you watched it after I did, so it's a little bit more fresh in your mind. But I wanted to ask you, what were your thoughts about that? Was there anything that you wanted to talk about here, talk about with everybody, and be sure everybody to leave your comments on the interview that you saw if you watched it with Allison. But anyway, so take it away.
Yeah, I highly recommend watching it if you haven't already. It's just so cool to see Paul like open up about a lot of things because he is overall a pretty quiet and private person, I feel like. And even in this interview, he is still a little reserved, but he's opening up about things and, talking about Kiss for the first time since the tour ended, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of have the chapters of that video pulled up just to remind me what he talked about. One of the things, she asked him pretty early on in the interview about the future of Kiss. And he was, talking about the avatars and basically saying that what we saw at Madison Square Garden is not even close to what they're gonna look like.
Which we knew that.
Which we did know, but I think he knows that most people don't understand that.
A lot of people are still kind of
everybody's too narrow-minded and they think that little preview is what it's going to be. And he said, what you saw was the idea in its infancy. Like, it is going to be so much bigger and better than that.
A demo.
Yeah, essentially.
That's how I think of it. That was a demo of a demo.
A prototype, basically.
Very early prototype.
So that was cool to hear him talk about. She also asked him about Gene, and it made me really happy to hear him say that they text pretty much every day. That was cute to hear.
He said his best trait, she asked him what his best trait was, and he said that it's his ability to be honest and say that he was wrong.
Yeah.
And he said that he's tried to also be that way too, where it's like, if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, you have to be able to set yourself aside.
Yes,
and
your
say,
ego and your pride.
I messed up and I did this. And he says,
and you were right.
Everybody thinks of Gene as being this egotistical person, which everybody can be, and you kind of have to be in this industry.
Right.
But Gene and I have a relationship where we both can put that aside and just be direct.
Yeah.
Which gosh, it's just so great to hear that they are as close as they are.
100%. And I mean, he said essentially or directly that they're family. And he said, I consider his kids like my kids and vice versa. Which is just really cool to hear.
He said Shannon's my sister-in-law.
Yeah. I thought that was so
Those
cute.
two get along. Yeah. He and Shannon.
Yes.
They get along very well.
That makes sense to me. And they both know how to put up with Gene. So it makes sense.
Gosh.
I'm sure they bond over that.
Paul's put up with Gene longer than Shannon has. He's the person that's put up with Gene the most.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's crazy to think about.
Oh, man. I love those two so much.
Absolutely.
He said that... sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was like, didn't Paul say that he had actually taken a break from playing guitar?
Yes, I was going to get to that because she asked him about the potential of new music. And what made me really happy is that he said, yes, of course. And that was that. Yeah,
that was a weight off my
Yes, that was a sigh of relief. He was like, of course I'll be doing new music at some point. But he did. This was one of the most interesting parts. He did say that he did not pick up a guitar for months. For months after that last show. And he said it's like he couldn't bring himself to.
And I was like, Paul, why?
Well, it just
and
seemed...
he said...
Didn't he essentially say that would basically remind him that it's done?
He said that he was afraid that if he did pick up a guitar, it would remind him of what they let go of.
Yeah.
He said
it was too emotional.
He said fortunately it wasn't like that. I was able to accept it and it was fine, and I just kind of played and strummed and it was cool. But he said that I was a little worried there for a minute to pick it up because he was like, we really did let it go, and so I didn't want, which was kind of nice because in our minds these guys are just like stoic, businessmen that could take it or leave it, but they love Kiss too. Paul even said, we're fans of the band. We're always saying, what do we want to see Kiss do? I want to see Paul fly across the stage, so let's have Paul do that. And so hearing them talk about just their love of the band was good, or at least Paul.
Yeah, and I just love... That was so interesting to hear that it was so difficult for him emotionally to even go back to creating music, even in the most simple way of just playing the guitar for so long after.
I really want to know when he's going to start writing and recording.
Yeah,
obviously,
he was very vague about
obviously
all that.
Do it on his own terms, but I think she said, are you going to do more solo music, or are you going to do more Soul Station? And he really didn't...
He didn't really answer.
He didn't really answer to either one. He just said, in general, as far as music goes, yes, that he would be returning to music in some way, shape, or form, whether that's performing live or recording or whatever, but that's at least good to know.
Yeah.
That he's going to make that return.
I do feel like he'll do more Soul Station.
For
I really
Gene,
do.
It was like, I gotta go now.
Yeah, immediately.
On tour, book shows, let's go.
Yeah. I do feel like he's hopefully going to do Soul Station. They did talk a lot about his art, since that's really the main thing that he's been doing. And he even mentioned he paints every single day. He said, I'm gonna leave here and go paint.
That's his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing. Every single day
he paints. I do this podcast. Yeah. That's his time to just do his own thing.
And I love that he has a constant creative outlet like that, especially when he wasn't playing music for all that time. It makes me happy to hear that even though he struggled to pick up the guitar, he still was able to get that creativity out in some way, and he wasn't just kind of moping. You know what I mean?
What I heard him say was that he said, I've got about 27 million in sales. Yes. It's crazy. I was taking a drink. Wait, what?
Yeah.
27 million in sales?
He was like, I'll never be a starving artist because we've already made a ton of money.
Yeah, he was like, I could sit here and pretend to be a starving artist, tortured artist, but he's like, I'm doing very well. This is just for me to fulfill something in me, and if it fulfills something in somebody else, well, that's just the cherry on top.
Absolutely.
So, but 27 million, no wonder Kiss ain't doing no new albums.
Right.
Why would you know what I mean? It just makes more sense to do it that way if everybody's responding better to this.
Yeah.
So I get it, but one thing I think he also mentioned was the biopic.
Yes.
Or at least Allison brought it up.
Yes, she did bring it up.
Now, how did you feel his response was to that? Did it seem like it's going to happen indefinitely, or did you just think that he was like, whatever?
No, I mean, he did say it's going to happen, but he did keep it very vague as well. But no, he said casting is imminent, I believe is what he said, that it's we're to that stage where we're about to cast. But he did keep it all very broad and vague. But I loved this when she was asking him about casting and who he would want to play him. I don't know why, it just made me chuckle. He essentially was like, I don't know any of the current young actors. He's like, I'm really not hip on who is big right now. He's like, the people I know are already too old to play the younger version of me. So he's like, the people that are going to be cast, they're going to be great, but they're not names I've ever heard of.
Yeah. He said, so I think he said that he'll be involved as much as he needs to be, but he's going to trust someone else to find the right people from the right... He said, the people they're going to have play me are from a generation that I know nothing about.
He said that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, I'm not aware of. So I like his honesty where, again, if Gene were there, Gene would probably fill it with fluff, but Paul's like, I don't know, dude.
Right.
I don't know.
And I respect
but my
it.
attitude was, like, the way I received it was, it almost sounded like to him, it was like, look, it's either going to happen or it's not. Like, it's out of my control, so they're going to cast it and they're going to go ahead with it, and if it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah. It sounds like he just has to let it run its own course, because they've been saying this biopic. I mean, that was episode 1 of this Kiss Army Things podcast.
We're on 102.
Was us talking about how there was a Netflix biopic announced.
Yeah.
And how they were going to do all this casting, and they had the director or whatever from Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever it was, and it was going to be this big old thing, and it just seems like, which we all get it, it's the show business, this things just get drawn out, and it's like, is it going to happen? I don't know. And I think Alice even asked about the documentary, which is what I'm most excited about.
Yes.
Is this Kiss documentary.
Yeah,
both of them. Documentary about the end of the road tour, the final show, and also the documentary about just all of history, I think. Yeah. Is what they're going to do. So I hope it happens soon, but it just seemed like his attitude towards those was more like, yeah, I can only be involved as much as I can. That's going to be up to the studios and distribution companies and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, well, and I do think it sounds like they're going to happen at some point, but like you said, he's not that involved, and he's not that stressed about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yeah, it'll probably happen. It'll probably be cool, but I got my own current stuff to worry about. And Doc was saying in an interview a few months ago how they were watching clips and getting updates every day of the documentary. So maybe it's just one of them things where it's like, I don't know, day-to-day thing. Yeah. I don't know. I would love to see a documentary. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing he talked about in this interview that got me really excited, and I literally gasped out loud when they started talking about this, was Broadway. And when talking about when Paul, not technically Broadway, but when Paul was Phantom in Toronto, was it late 90s, is that right? Yeah. I was surprised that she even brought that up. I was like, that's such a random thing. I feel like nobody ever talks to him about that. Maybe it was like a pre-approved question. Maybe. Like, let's talk about Phantom. I don't know. That made me so happy, because, I mean, if you guys have seen some previous episodes, you know I love musical theater, and I love the fact that Paul was in Phantom of the Opera. He nailed it. We've even, gotten the opportunity to watch the bootleg video of it. Thank you, Pasquale. We've got, like, literally a poster on the wall in our office of him as Phantom. And it was just so cool to hear him talk about that experience. And how, like, obviously it was a challenge and it was difficult, but it was, like, so rewarding, and how special that experience was to him. And it was also cool to hear him talk about that also got him involved in a lot of charity work for, I can't remember the name of the organization, but basically to help kids who have, like, facial abnormalities and things like that. Right. Which has a connection to Phantom, but also has a very personal connection to him, having grown up with microtia. Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's the disease. Okay. So it was really cool to hear him talk about that too, and how he has continued to work with that organization. Speaking of this, because now we're getting into some more real, candid, personal topics, there was a part too that I thought was mind-blowing, him talking about, was vocal issues. Yes, yeah. Because it's something that, because you're a rock star, and because you have to maintain that rock star personality, Kiss, they're superheroes, so they always maintain this superhero mentality. Mm-hmm. But they were talking about how rock singers at a certain age will experience vocal issues. Yeah. And Paul was talking about how he hears him, he says, I hear myself on recordings from 20, 30, 40 years ago, and I still know how to do it here. Right. But I can't do it here. But I can't do it here. Yeah. And he said that it's, very tough for vocalists to age like that and get to a point where you have to kind of humble yourself and realize that doing the same things you were doing in your 20s and 30s is not going to be possible in your 60s and 70s. But they were talking about Bon Jovi, mm-hmm. and how Bon Jovi's been very open and very public, more so than Paul Stanley was, mm-hmm. about his issues with vocal issues. And it's sad, because I'm seeing a lot of the same things being said about Bon Jovi that I have heard about Paul Stanley in the past decade, which is like, man, what a shell of what he used to be. He's living in his former shadow, or he'll never be his former self. And man, he should just get off stage.
None of us will be. Like,
who would
what?
pay money to see this? This is trash. This is garbage. And I'm like, you guys don't understand that this guy is putting himself out there in a very public way, and who just wants to perform art. And there are people, clearly, he sells out a lot.
Yes, they're still huge.
Bon Jovi is still very, very successful, and is one of those classic artists that can still, draw in the crowd money. And
it's just fascinating
to
me.
But there's so much haters out there. It's terrible.
It's crazy to me that people don't allow vocalists and rock stars to age. Like, are you... Like, I don't know if they just expect them to stop and just disappear from the public eye and quit doing what they love and what their fans want, what their actual fans want. As soon as they start having those issues, do you just want them to disappear from the planet? Because what other solution is there? We're all human. We all age.
Oh, yeah.
And Paul even said, like, people will talk crap and we'll say, well, you don't sound like you used to. And he's like, well, go listen to those albums then. Like, yeah, he said, go listen to Kiss Alive. Like, if you don't want to hear the way I sound now, fine. Like, don't listen to me. But there's so many people that do. I just will never understand where that hate comes from. It makes no sense.
It comes from it comes from themselves.
Yeah.
And there's something dissatisfied with they're dissatisfied with themselves, and they project on other people, especially people who are in a better position in life than they are.
Right.
If I can drag them down, then it makes me somehow better, which of course is not the case at all. But
it's ridiculous.
No, it is ridiculous. But to hear Paul open up like that was kind of interesting, because let's be honest, this was a very controlled interview. This was a very safe interview.
Yeah.
It was in a controlled environment with Allison, the same woman who did the interview from the pay-per-view in December 2nd. So this was something that was, probably all the questions were pre-approved.
Oh, 100%.
And everything was
He wasn't surprised by any questions.
He wasn't surprised by anything.
Not that it was scripted, but he had his answers ready to go in his head.
He probably knew a direction where he was wanting to go. But to see the questions that we got, it was still really awesome. And again, to hear Paul.
Yeah, and I think that's something that you wouldn't have seen, this time last year when he's still in the middle of the tour. Like, he was never that open about it while the band was active. No. So it's cool to kind of hear him just as a person, just being a person and being honest.
Super wise too. Yeah. He said so many things. He was like, the most important thing to him, isn't Kiss. It isn't his music. It isn't his legacy.
It isn't money.
It's not money. It's his family.
He kept harping on that.
Yeah, and they always have, and that's like one of the biggest things I've always taken from Gene and Paul is that yes, hard work pays off. Dream big, and you can achieve anything. But they've also never failed to talk about how much family means to them, and surrounding yourself with good people and making sure that you and yours are taken care of. And so I always love that, because you get a lot of I don't know. It's always funny how you have one idea of a rock star, and then you actually look at what a real rock star is, and you sort of get the realness of it. Yeah. And Paul was really real in that interview, so I will always appreciate that. And so somebody else in Kiss did a really big interview as well. Paul Stanley was interviewed by Allison. Well, Gene was on Steve-O's podcast, Wild Ride, with Steve-O.
You couldn't go further on the other end of the spectrum.
I love it. Now, this was uploaded today.
We haven't watched it yet.
So we actually, before this, we were on YouTube and refreshed the page, and it came up on the homepage, Gene Simmons and Steve-O, and I was like, man, I wish we could watch that before this.
Yeah.
But
it's
we'll have to
over
just go and we'll have to watch it afterwards. But I thought it was newsworthy because I tell you what, man, some of my first memories are Kiss and Jackass.
Yeah.
Not sure what it says about me, but I can think back to when the Jackass movie came out, and I was a little boy in first grade, and I was like, ha, this is funny. Watching all the Jackass movies, of course, grew up with Kiss. I even did that Kiss Jackass video on TikTok, which blew up.
Right.
So that was really fun. But no, to see Steve-O to see Gene on Steve-O's podcast was great. I gotta watch it because the one thing I want to know is if they talk about what happened at the Gene Simmons roast.
Okay.
I've actually thought about, and if not, I might reach out to Steve-O, because this is something I've always wanted to know.
Oh, surely they talk about it.
Steve-O was a guest on the Gene Simmons roast back in 04, 06, something like that, when Gene was doing his Family Jewels show, and on A&E had the Gene Simmons roast. He had a bunch of people, and Steve-O was one of the guests. Well, Steve-O was thrown out halfway through, kicked out before he even was able to get up there and actually present and speak and roast and, say his jokes.
Yeah.
I think he had gotten really drunk and peed on somebody or indecent exposure. You know how Steve-O is in the
Or how he was, especially
how he was at that time.
Yeah.
He was, he's definitely changed his life around for the better. And
he's still crazy, but he's a different person. He's not...
Yeah, no, he's
been clean from drugs and things like that for so long.
He's always been that crazy stuntman.
Yeah.
But as far as, the substance abuse, he's definitely cleaned up. But back then, he was at his all-time lowest.
Yes.
He was on his worst behavior.
Yes.
And Gene was... I'm assuming Gene was not putting up with any of it.
No, because we know Gene. Gene doesn't even drink. Like,
no.
Gene does not tolerate
that. And so he was kicked off of the show. And there's even a little clip they included of him getting dragged out where he's like, I wrote jokes. I want to say jokes. And I can just think about it. Oh, it's so funny. But, anyway, so I want to know if they talk about that. I want to know
they have to.
What else they talk about. I think it's called, Does Gene Simmons Regret Humping Thousands of Chicks? Can't wait to hear his response on that.
Oh my God.
But anyway, that was filmed on June 6th, and it's now the 13th.
Yeah.
So, gotta watch that. Gotta check it out.
I'm very excited to see that.
It's gonna be a good episode. Love Steve-O's podcast. I love Steve-O.
Yeah, we've watched multiple episodes of that.
So I thought that was newsworthy, and we will get back to some KISS member news in just a moment. But I also had something else I wanted to mention because this kind of stunned me. Now this is a few weeks old news, but still newsworthy because guess what, guys? It's 2024 and KISS is back on the charts. Believe it or not.
What?
KISS is back on the charts. I Was Made for Loving You reached number 3 on the Billboard's Hard Rock Digital Song Sales chart.
Wow.
So, out of song sales in the hard rock category.
Do we think it's because of Fall Guy?
Bingo.
That's awesome.
Bingo. So,
wow.
because, and I guess it could have been Godzilla as well, but let's face it. Let's face it. Both that song was used in both films, but let's face it. Fall Guy, even though it wasn't a huge box office success, it was still...
I think it was pretty successful, though.
It did pretty well,
yeah.
And it really brought that song back, which it's already KISS's most popular song, but it just brought it back in such a big way. Youngblood did his cover.
Yeah, but we also had the KISS version in the film as well. That's what I love so much, is we kind of had multiple versions, because it was in the score. It was in the orchestral, It wasn't just the KISS one and the Youngblood one.
The movie was based around the song almost.
Literally. It was
it opened up with the song, I'm pretty sure. Very close to the intro.
Yes.
Very close to the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. And
you hear it in different ways all throughout. But yeah, so when I read this article, I thought it was, fake or satire or whatever. But no, it's actually true. Yeah. I Was Made for Loving You reached number 3 on the Billboard charts. Even Youngblood's cover.
That's great. I love that cover.
Charted.
That's awesome.
Youngblood's version topped at number 6 on the alternative digital sales songs. Song sales. Again, sales. So this isn't just this is actual sales. This is
people actually spending money.
Really awesome.
Wow.
This is really awesome to hear. And so I thought it was newsworthy. It's not just really cool for the present day, but it's also KISS's second highest charting track on this particular list as far as song sales charts.
Okay.
The second highest. So, of course, not number one, but the highest KISS ever got was Hell or Hallelujah back in 2012.
Wow, that's kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, it reached number 2.
Okay.
In 2012. Awesome. So when the summer of 2012, when Monster was coming out, before Monster came out, Hell or Hallelujah had reached number 2. So thought that was really cool. The last one I can think of, or the last two I can think of, was Beth reached number 6 in 2016. I'm not sure if there was a correlation there or a reason why, but I was just doing some digging, doing some research. I'm like, well, how recently has KISS been on the charts? And found that Beth hit number 6 in 2016. Rock and Roll All Night hit number 17 back in 2012, around the same time as Hell or Hallelujah, and stayed for 3 weeks.
Wow.
But so I thought it was crazy that KISS was back on the charts in 2024 due to Fall Guy.
That's awesome.
But it just goes to show that, that's the power of the movies. That's the power of cinema. That's the power of, I guess we'll call it cross-promotion.
Yeah.
Here's a song, put it in a movie. Song boosts the movie boosts song.
And I can't think of his name at the moment, but shout out to the amazing dude that wrote and directed that film.
I'm gonna find his name because he deserves to be praised.
He's fantastic, We
Talk about it.
we saw him. I don't know if any of you have ever watched the YouTube channel Corridor Digital or Corridor Crew. It's these amazing guys who do visual effects and things like that, and they have a show called VFX Artists React, and they also have a show called Stuntmen React.
Oh yeah.
And they did an episode of Stuntmen React where they had this man. Did you figure out his name?
His name is
David Leitch.
David Leitch, something like that.
I think it's Leitch. Yeah, David Leitch. They had him on Stuntman React because he is a former stuntman, stunt coordinator, and now director and writer.
So he just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and so that's why if you saw Fall Guy, like, it's basically a love letter to stunt work and to stuntmen. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the reason it's so good is because it's made by a stuntman. And when we watched him on that episode of Stuntman React, he was wearing a Kiss t-shirt.
He was.
And we saw that.
Was crazy.
I think we saw that before we saw the film.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I think we knew that the song was going to be in it and everything, but that was our first clue. Oh, the guy that made this film is a real
Kiss fan.
It's not just like some guy in a suit decided to put the
Commercial
song
thing, yeah.
in the film just for whatever reason. Like, he put it in there because he loves it.
Real guy.
Yeah.
That's why we said we need to go watch this movie and support this guy this movie.
As soon as we finished that video, we were like, okay, what are the show times? We're going.
We're going to see that. And it was a great movie. It really was a great movie. It was cool to see Kiss. And I thought it was crazy that it actually got Kiss back on the charts. Number 3 on Billboard's Hard Rock Digital Sales chart.
I love it.
So there's that. And also, speaking of new music and all that, so we mentioned Bon Jovi earlier in the show. Well, he had a new album come out.
Yes.
And I saw on Facebook where he actually mentions Kiss in a song.
No way.
On the new record.
I didn't know that.
He has a song, I think it's called My First Guitar or something like that. My song, though the album's called Forever.
Okay, I knew that. I haven't heard any of it, but I knew the album title.
Yeah, the album's called Forever, but I think the song is called My First Guitar. And the lyric is, the cardboard case and her starburst finish. One power chord and I'm right back in it. Playing old Kiss records in my folks' backyard. 17 years old. I'm a rock and roll star. So it's like a throwback song, an origin song.
Wow.
And the fact that he mentioned Kiss was dope. Playing old Kiss records. It's such a kind of a kid thing. You know, you're a kid in the backyard playing rock and roll.
Yeah, pretending to be a rock star.
And then you actually become a rock star.
That's really cool.
Dope.
That's really special.
Yeah, and we know that Desmond Child wrote with Bon Jovi.
Absolutely,
Bon Jovi
some
and
of their
Paul,
biggest
they're
songs.
all friends.
Yep.
So that was really cool. But
that's great.
When I heard it, I was like, I gotta hear the song. The song's really good, but to hear a song mention Kiss is always great. I can think back to when I found out that Cheap Trick mentions them in that song Surrender.
Yes.
I can think back to listening to it on Guitar Hero and hearing it.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait a minute, they're mentioning Kiss in this song with my old Kiss records out. I was like, all right, here we go. And then even on Kid Rock's album, Rock and Roll Jesus, he has a song called Low Life.
Okay.
And he says in the song, the landlord called, the rent is due. I spend it all on a Kiss tattoo. I rock and roll all night. And
that's great.
Jeb and I, when we bought that album, first of all, that song All Summer Long is a masterpiece. Actually,
classic.
It's summertime now, so I may need to bust that song out now.
No, it's time.
And jam that song, one of my all-time favorite songs. That song came out when I was a freshman in high school. That was like our summer song. But getting that album and listening to those songs and getting all the way down to Low Life, and it says, I spent it all on the Kiss tattoo. I rock and roll all night. It was like, there you go. It's just vindication for Kiss fans.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so I wanted to mention that. Like I said, we're going to get back to some Kiss member news, but this is also involving music, because what did we do before we watched this? We watched the new music video for the band called The Wild Things. They have a song called Breaking Madonna, and who was in that video, Daphne?
Tommy freaking Thayer.
Tommy Thayer, of all people. Now, I don't know what the correlation was, or if
I don't know either.
How he knows this band, if they contacted him, or if he's like managing this band, or if like he's.
Yeah, we'll have to dig into that
and do some
more research. I've never heard of this band, but they're great. I loved the song; it was awesome. They have a really fantastic female vocalist.
She's great.
She's really good. Has a really powerful, unique sound.
It's like a modern alternative band.
Yeah.
Kind of like, not like a punk band, but a punk-ish sound with like modern distorted vocals, distorted guitars.
Very cool.
Kind of like Paramore, but not Paramore. You know what I mean?
Less poppy than Paramore, but
could be British.
I think so. based on the way she pronounced certain things. But I really liked their look and their sound.
The song was really good.
And I was so distracted in the first few seconds of the video by just like taking in, all the members in their like crazy hair and outfits. And it took me a second to even realize Tommy Thayer's right there.
I know. I was like, "Did you see that?" I rewound and I was like,
no.
"Who's that?"
I was looking at the lead singer, but then I was like, "Oh, that's Tommy Thayer."
That's
and
Tommy
they're like,
Thayer.
And that's another thing that makes me think they might be a British band is that they were on top of like a double-decker bus
with no roof.
Yeah, which is a very like London kind of thing.
Performing on this bus
as it's moving
in broad daylight in the sun. The wind is blowing. Tommy's got his sunglasses on.
He's got white lightning.
He was looking pretty badass. Oh, he was playing white lightning. You're right.
That was awesome.
He was. That was a great video.
Yeah.
I think the song was called what? Breaking Madonna.
Breaking Madonna.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned that. So it's called Breaking Madonna. Check it out. I may need to look more into the Wild Things because again, it looks like they're a newer band. Could be cool to check them out. But
it's a good song.
Either way, it was cool to see Tommy in the video, not just like in the video, but he was playing on the track.
Yeah.
I think they gave him the solo.
Yeah,
he was
amazing.
doing a nice like bluesy distorted guitar solo. It was really cool.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, what his involvement is with the band and if he has recorded anything else with them or if it's just this one-off song.
It had to have been something more than that because even in the song, remember when she said, shout it out loud?
She did say that. Yeah.
They mentioned the song title, shout it out loud. So it's part of the song. So.
And I feel like they wouldn't have him in the music video if it was just a one-off, like session musician kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They must know each other somehow.
Yeah, and that must be important somehow. So we'll have to look into that. But you should definitely check out that song and that music video.
It was a good song. It was
really
a good song. Great video. And that's not the only Tommy Thayer movie. Tommy Thayer was also featured on the cover of Legacy Quarterly Magazine. I've never heard of Legacy Quarterly Magazine. I don't think it's even in print because I couldn't even find a copy to buy for myself.
Okay, so just digital?
It must be just digital, but I found a digital copy on LinkedIn. The person who runs the magazine posted a link to it, so I read it. It was pretty good.
Cool.
Love the cover, but I really wish I could find a copy to buy.
Right.
I want something to buy of Kiss in 2024.
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course I do. But no, it was cool to see Tom on the cover of that magazine. I read it. It was mostly just talking about what he's doing after Kiss and since Kiss and the road tour, talking all about that. So it was cool to catch up with him. I think the last member to talk about is Eric Singer.
Okay.
We don't really hear much about Eric Singer and haven't really much since the end of the road tour. But we have heard from Eric in the sense that he made the front cover of Modern Drummer magazine.
I think I knew this, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so yes, this is the February issue, 2024. Eric Singer made the cover, and as big an Eric Singer fan as I am, this is the only Modern Drummer magazine I have.
Really?
Of Eric. I mean, he's been featured several times on the cover. Even Peter Criss has several times too, but this I think is the only magazine I have. But I had to get it because again, 2024.
Right.
It's featuring Kiss.
Great cover. Great photo.
What a fantastic interview.
I was going to ask, you've read it?
I've read it twice so far. I read it before we filmed this episode. Read it when I first got it. This is actually one of the packages I was going to open for this episode, but had to open it.
It's long.
Yeah, but had to open it beforehand. Yeah, this is not some flippant interview. This is a
very long,
multi-page
oh my
interview.
Gosh!
Eric Singer talks all about his childhood, all about his career. This will tell you everything you need to know about Eric Singer. And even though I've gone through it twice, I need to go through it again. Because
I'm sure there's more to fathom.
He packs so much. Like I read it once, went back through, read it again, and found more that I just like, wait, what? I didn't even recognize this.
The article literally, it's 10 pages long. It goes from page 13 to page 23.
It's a long article.
I will have to check this out. That is very, very cool.
It is awesome.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, and this is also really cool. So thank you to Rob, because Rob gave me the tip on this.
Oh, sweet.
He said, hey, just saw the link, get it. And what's cool about this is that it's actually a 2-for-1.
Oh.
So on the back, you have for King and Country,
okay,
which is another group. They're on the back cover. And so on the back, you have Eric Singer, or on the front, Eric Singer front. You got two fronts.
Yeah, that's cool.
So they're just upside down.
Right, yeah.
Obviously. So yes, this back of the portion of the magazine is upside down.
Right.
And at a certain point, it goes to right side up. But anyway, yeah, again, I had to get this. Love the front cover featuring Eric. But this is a little taste and a little teaser for what's to come as far as the Collector's Corner goes, because I'm always showing new items, new additions to the Kiss collection. This is one new addition right here. I do want to get a little stand to put it on.
Nice.
our table's empty for right now.
We need to fill it up.
I have a feeling that it's going to be filled up at some point.
Yeah, I don't think
before
emptiness will last.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But for now, if you want, you can just put that there. But anyway, so if you guys want, yeah, if I can, I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested, because very cool to see Eric on the cover of. Oh no, give it back, because I wanted to read something, because there was something that caught my eye this time that I wanted to read. We were talking about earlier, can we even call it Current Kiss? What actually is Current Kiss? And so at one point during the interview, Eric Singer was asked, here's the big question, is Kiss done? Eric said, well, I don't think they're done. I think it's going to morph into some other kind of business model. That's an unwritten script at this point. I know I'm still involved. I think I'll still be involved in certain aspects for a while. They decide what direction they're going to move into. I'm part of a team. Even though Gene and Paul are the leaders of that team and the owners of the company, they know that the band with Tommy and I have had a lot of success together. This lineup has lasted together for 20 years. I would like to think that they look at us as good team members, good assets of the company. It's a business, a company, a band, and a brand. So he's saying that he's still involved in Kiss.
He's not just done.
And
it's not just Gene and Paul and Pop House. He's still on the team.
It's still very much
that
Gene,
is
Paul,
very cool to hear.
Eric, and Tommy. And even though it seems like Kiss is trying to maintain this idea that Kiss is not dead, even though Kiss is not touring anymore, that Kiss is still very much going to continue in a variety of ways.
Yeah. Whether
that's, of course, merchandise and all that, but like whether it's future releases, future projects, of course, the avatars. It's going to be a multifaceted, he said, business model. It's going to be, it's a multifaceted business model that's going to see lots of different things, but he maintains, he said, I know I'm still involved, and I will be involved in certain aspects for a while.
That's really cool to hear.
I am part of the team.
That's really encouraging. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we can still call it Current Kiss.
Okay.
If we want to. But anyway, just to hear that Kiss is not done in certain ways, and that Kiss is going to continue on, and that they're involved.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
That was just good to hear. So there we go. We have now caught up with all 4 members of the Current Kiss, but I did want to reach out and also catch up with some other members of Kiss, too.
Okay, great.
Including Bruce Kulick, because we love Bruce Kulick.
Yes, we do.
Bruce Kulick is making some appearances here this year, including the Kiss-themed You Wanted the Best benefit fundraiser for Alzheimer's Association.
Oh, cool.
And this is happening in Cleveland, Ohio, so which is in our neck of the woods, but I don't think we're going to be able to go.
Yeah.
It's happening July 22nd. So if you guys are in the Cleveland area and you guys want to meet Bruce Kulick and check it out, and also support the Alzheimer's Association, check out the Cleveland Musicians Fundraiser.org. That's where you can get more information on that. Bruce and Lisa, his wife Lisa, will be making an appearance at the Super Mega Fest in Massachusetts on June 28th.
Cool, okay.
So that's actually coming up very, very soon, a couple weeks. You got about a month or so for July. But I think he's going to be, he'll be appearing June 28th to June 30th, all weekend long. He'll be appearing at this thing called the Super Mega Fest. What a great name. Anyway, he'll be signing autographs, meeting with fans, and then the 29th, he and Lisa will be doing a very limited VIP dinner.
Okay.
Where you get to have dinner with Bruce and Lisa.
That's cool.
And so,
they've done something like that before, haven't they?
Well, I know Gene has.
Okay.
Gene has done something like that in Vegas. Maybe Bruce and Lisa have.
Okay, it sounds
I think
familiar.
there's something else that they might be doing in Vegas.
Okay.
So check out Bruce's social media if you want to get more.
He's active. I love it.
Bruce is active. He quit Grand Funk, remember?
Right.
He stepped away from that. He said, I'm just going to do my own thing, take a step back, and so that's what he's doing. So a couple appearances for Bruce Kulick, and Ace has been very active as far as playing a lot of live shows. He has even more shows planned too, so follow him on social media. Played a big show at Mohegan Sun recently. Mohegan Sun, that's about 10,000 people.
Yeah.
I saw a video of him signing, I guess, backstage. They have the Kiss logo they have a bunch of autographs from a bunch of famous people. And then in a very, focal spot is the Kiss logo with Gene, Paul, Eric, and Tommy. And so Ace put his there.
Nice.
And signed it in like a pink, red color, whatever it was.
Very
so
cool. Really
cool, really nice. And I think Jeb messaged me and was like, dude, Ace is going to be playing with Jackal in Illinois.
No way.
In July. And I was like, oh, man, that'd be cool to get out there and see that show. But
that's really, really
don't
cool.
think I will. I think Jeb was wanting to go. Maybe he will by himself. But I was like, man, to see Jackal and Ace, that'd be a cool show.
Like, together? Or
no.
Or just they're both
the same
at
bill.
an event.
The same bill. Yeah, they're playing some bar or some place. I don't know who's opening. I think Yeah, I'm not sure who's opening, but
Okay.
either way,
That's really cool.
I love Jackal.
Yeah.
Jackal's debut album is fantastic. What a
Yeah.
great album. And so, well, Jen and I saw Jackal back in 2010 in the Kentucky State Fair. That was really cool. But anyway, so that's pretty much it, I think, as far as KISS news goes. Like I said, it was jam-packed. We caught up with all 4 members of KISS and then some. But I also promised I would be opening up some KISS packages and showing off some new additions to the KISS collection. It is time for the Collector's Corner. Yeah, I made a post on Instagram saying, look out, guys, because I've been buying and I've been KISS shopping.
The haul is large.
Yes, it is. And I'm going to be showing most of it here today. I'm actually going to be doing a different segment on another episode where I'll be showing even more. But yeah, today I'm going to be showing
your ability to save
stuff.
Things and your restraint is impressive.
I have to.
Because I would open it all right away.
I call it prolonging the fun.
Okay, that's
because, we always want to have our dessert before we have our meal.
Right.
But sometimes it's good to have your dessert and your meal at the same time and just keep doing that forever and ever and ever and always having the most fun. Because we're adults, we do whatever we want. So I basically will buy something of KISS, wait for it to come, forget what it is when it gets here, and say, I'll just open on the next show.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like you're so excited for it to come, and you're tracking it and like checking to see if it came in the mail today.
That I forget what it actually is.
Well, but then you don't open it and you put it in this room, so it's like you're so ready to get it, and then like, okay, put it aside now.
There are certain things that I open that nobody knows, but I do like to make a big show of it here because it's fun. Like I said, it's prolonging the fun.
Yes, I respect it.
And being a KISS fan is super fun. So I'm going to start small. And we'll work our way up.
Okay.
But I'm going to start off with this, because this I actually showed earlier today on the Patreon video.
Oh, okay.
So please, people, if you want more content, please subscribe to the KISS Everything's Patreon. The Patreon directly supports
what we do here.
The YouTube channel. It supports everything that we do in the content. So check us out there. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to give folks a little sneak peek into what's to come. And so here is a KISS ticket from the show on December 26, 87.
Oh, wow.
Here in Indiana.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is a vintage KISS ticket with Ted Nugent.
Okay.
This was, I think, Crazy Nights. It would have been Crazy Nights Tour, 87. So, yeah, I'll show it here for you guys, although it might be hard to actually see. Maybe I'll put a picture of it on screen for you guys. But, so obviously, we can't be buying KISS tickets for future KISS concerts.
Right.
But you can always go back and buy tickets from shows that already happened. So, that might be my new thing, is buying tickets from previous shows, especially those in Indiana.
Yeah.
So, but I thought, how cool is that? Vintage KISS ticket from Crazy Nights Tour. Let's see, does it say where the venue was? Yeah, Fort Wayne Coliseum. We were there. We saw KISS there. We saw KISS there a few times. Yep. So, they've been playing there forever. So, yeah, really cool vintage KISS ticket. I know it's kind of small, but I'm on the KISS Indiana kick.
Yep.
I know I mentioned it many times, and I'm going to say it many times more because it's true.
It's not going away.
So it never goes away. That's funny. Another Carnival of Souls reference. But anyway, so yeah, there's a KISS ticket right there from a show in 87. But we'll now get to this box because this is one that I did not forget. This is one that I've been waiting on for a minute. And we all know that I love the KISS Coffee House.
Yes.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, yes, I do know what this is.
Watch weekly. Interesting. I'm not sure what
I think they're saying they watch weekly. They watch us weekly, maybe.
Wait, so you think that they know who we are?
I think so.
That's crazy.
There's a Sharpie note inside. I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but explaining something about the package, and it says, watch weekly.
I know. Well, are they saying we watch your show weekly, or are they saying watch our eBay page weekly for more...
Maybe.
More KISS listings, more...
Maybe.
This is an auction I won.
That's up for interpretation.
Maybe, because that'd be really...
That would be cool.
How would they know it's us?
Because your name, babe.
They don't know my... everyone doesn't know my name. Anyway. Could be up for interpretation. More from my KISS collection. Downsizing.
Oh, okay. So
watch weekly.
Watch weekly for more stuff.
Maybe it's an ad for their eBay page.
But still.
I was thinking they were like, they knew who we were. I was like, how would they know?
Like, there's no way.
There's plenty of Xanders in the world. Anyway.
But that's good to know, to watch that page.
Anyway, so I'll explain this. So I found an eBay auction, an eBay listing for a lot of Kiss coffee. A lot, meaning which I guess is the same thing. A lot.
Right.
Of Kiss coffee house merch. And Jeb and I went before it closed, which was awesome. And we got a pretty good amount of stuff, but not everything. And so I've been on the hunt for more Kiss coffee house merch, and so I found a lot that I was the winner of. So I got this stuff.
This is very exciting.
I'm ready to show you guys the Kiss. Oh, this is a sturdy cup. Oh wow!
Oh, they're stacked.
I was thinking for sure they're stacked, but one does have a lid. Ah, that's the small lid.
Yep, that's the.
Okay, for sure. So that's what they were saying. So yeah, I've got a few cups here, Kiss Coffee House cups.
Yeah.
These are the cups that if you got a fountain soda, they would put it in this.
And then if you got a hot coffee, it would go in
if
this.
you got a coffee to go, they would go in that. And read the bottom there where it says caution.
Caution, this coffee is hotter than hell.
Love that.
That's right.
I love that. So this is cool because I did buy a cup just like that from the coffee house. Mine has a white lid, but it ripped.
Aww.
I ripped the lid. I still have it. It's still on there, but I felt really bad that I ripped the lid.
We even have the sugars and the sweeteners.
So
That's
it also
so cool.
It also came with the sugars. Yeah. So I'm assuming these would have been free at the coffee house. I mean, you never know. You never know.
Definitely.
But yeah, so you have Kiss Coffee House sweeteners. You have artificial sweeteners, brown sugar, and then So it even says 07. Love that. I love when there's a date. So I already have 4 of these.
Yep.
They're a lot more beat up. So these are in nicer condition. But I love the fact that I have more to add to my Kiss Coffee House collection. So there you guys go. A couple of Kiss sweeteners right there. There's the Kiss cups. And then I'm going to put this lid back on. And then I'll put this for everybody to see. Yeah, I love the caution. Coffee hotter than hell.
That's great.
What a great little tagline. And I'll put these in here. And now we can get to the big stuff because, they have it packaged together. So I may spoil it for you, but I'm going to wait for them. Now this is the Kiss Frozen Rockaccino. Oh. This was the featured drink of the whole Kiss Coffee House was their Frozen Rockaccino. And it was just a frozen mocha shake. Like a
Frappuccino from
Frappuccino, basically, yes. But it was Kissified rock and roll, and it actually was really good. I do not drink coffee. I don't drink iced coffees or mochas or anything like that. But Jeb bought a Rockaccino and drank it, and I was like, let me have a drink. And I was like, this is really good. Yeah,
and this is cool because this is like you could make one
and
at home.
These, you could buy.
Like solid now.
Yeah, they're solid. These you could buy the mix at the coffee house, take it home, make your own.
Yeah.
Somebody bought it and kept it. Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
That's very cool.
I've never seen that one.
A noob edition. Yeah. I have everything here already.
Right.
Just duplicates of, which I love. But this is a noob edition. Kind of forgot about it too because when I saw it, I was like, they did sell those to go.
That's such a cool graphic too. It's so well designed. I love it.
Love it. Really cool.
Sweet.
And so frozen mochaccino, rockaccino mix, and I now have sealed Kiss coffee.
Yay!
Sealed Kiss coffee. So
the one have is open.
I bought this one is the Mr. Speed. High caffeinated Kenyan coffee blend.
Oh,
but anyway,
fancy.
So I bought the Let Me Go Rocky Road because it was chocolate and marshmallow and graham crackers, like s'mores basically.
Yeah, and you let Jeb and your mom convince you to open it.
Jeb and mom said, "Oh no, man, you bought it just to keep it? No, we got to open it. Let's try it. Let's drink some Kiss coffee." I was like, "Fine." So I opened it up, drank some Kiss coffee, and then got news that they were closing down. It was going out of business.
Regretted that forever.
None ever being put into production ever again. And have never seen really much since for a decent price. But this person bought theirs, kept it sealed. Now I have sealed coffee. I will say that it's nice that did get opened because I can now smell it anytime I want to. And it smells delicious.
It's still, I'm sure it's
incredible.
Probably not good to consume anymore, but it still smells just as good as it ever did.
It smells delicious. But now I have a sealed bag of that delicious Kiss Coffee House coffee. And I'm pretty sure that is it for this.
It's a great haul.
Well, yeah, they said they have more from their collection. They're downsizing, so I gotta go back through and check out what else they have. But anyway, here's just part one. Part one.
That was part one?
That was part... Well, part 1 was technically the magazine.
True.
The magazine. And then part 1.5 was the ticket.
Yeah.
And then part 2 was that. So let's get to the third and final part.
This I don't think I know anything about.
Well, you actually do.
Okay, maybe I just forget everything too.
This is the last Kiss Museum package.
Oh.
So everybody knows that KissMuseum.com closed down and was absorbed by, which is fine, Kiss Army Warehouse.
That was best case scenario.
But,
absolutely.
Yes, it was. But
still bittersweet, though.
The news that Kiss Museum, as we know it, was closing down, and that Peter Arquette, the man who's ran this for so many years, my entire Kiss collecting is because of Peter Arquette.
100%.
Is because of Kiss Museum.
Yeah.
Jeb and I would get that Kiss catalog every year for Christmas and just flip through it day after day, hours and hours, making our Christmas list, checking it twice, and that was like our whole childhood. And so a lot of our early Kiss collecting came from the catalog, came from KissMuseum.com, and it got to the point where as an adult I would check Kiss Museum every single day without fail. It was like, just got off work, gonna sit back and relax with a money bag and crack open and
it's like opening the newspaper.
Yeah, it's like open the newspaper and check out the classified section. But no, I'm out here checking out the Kiss, the Kissified section. And so it's been tough not checking Kiss Museum every single day, but I was like, I gotta make my last final purchase.
Yeah.
And when I got it, I was like, I'm gonna open this on the next show. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? Nah, I'm going to open it on the next show.
Have you been putting it off?
So this is the one that I actually have been putting back, but the time is now.
Yeah.
The time has come. It's time to open this package. Because you were there when I bought it. What did I get?
Well, you've waited so long that
you don't know.
I don't remember.
That's what I love, because again...
That was like at least a month ago.
This is Kissmas. This is Kissmas. Kiss Museum was my Kissmas. Every year, Dad would buy us Kiss merch. You know, he didn't mess with, buying us the wrong size clothes or the wrong video game or the wrong console.
Yeah.
Nobody, kids don't need to be worried about that. Parents don't need to worry about that. That's not what it's all about anyway. It's about family.
Yeah.
It's about family.
Facts.
And Christmas was always the best time for family because we would just gather around the big brown box on December 24th, open it up, and just take out a bunch of Kiss stuff. So I'm going to enjoy opening my last Kiss package here and now.
I'm sure the second you open it, I'm going to remember.
Damn it, Xander. What is your problem, Xander?
What is this?
This is a block of 300 Kiss Him, Kiss Her makeup block cards. I already have a stack of a lot, so now I have even more. I'm obsessed with the Kiss Him, Kiss Her fragrance line. These are not... So these are what you would use to... if you didn't want to use the perfume on yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's like a sample card.
You would spray this, you would spray the card.
So that you're not covering yourself in different scents.
Yes, you can use multiple scents.
So it's just a card, a blank white card that has the Kiss logo like embossed on it, which is very cool.
The embossed is that's the Kiss part.
It's a blotter card.
That's the Kiss, because it could have just been a regular old card with nothing on it, but it was the Kiss logo embossed. These were promo items that, you would find them in the department store, kind of around the display. So if you wanted to, you could spray the card and then sell the card and just throw them away. But here's a big old stack of, what's it say? 100.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 100 of them. Okay, for sure. I thought it was 300. But anyway, either way.
Maybe there's 2 more stacks.
Big stack. Maybe. I wouldn't put it past me.
No, me neither.
But no, I'm pretty sure I have a stack already of a bunch of them, but I'll just add that to the collection there.
All right.
Love the Kiss Him, Kiss Her stuff. And let's see what else we got here. This is... Oh, yeah! So, I got the Kiss Glam Light makeup.
Oh, yes.
So, I wanted to buy some more Kiss makeup. And this is some makeup that came out around 97.
Okay.
Some, cheap all Halloween costume Kiss makeup that you would use once.
Right, but it's packaged really cool. I love that.
It is really cool packaging. You get the reunion lineup there. Original Kiss from the 90s with... solo albums on the back.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. It even has the autographs printed. But makeup and instructions for the whole band.
Okay.
Includes black, silver, red, green, blue, and white makeup.
The green doesn't look green anymore, but I'm sure it was at one point in time.
I'm sure it was at one point in time. It could just be the lighting. No, that's definitely almost got a brownish tint. And even the package down here is like splitting.
Yeah.
The plastic is splitting. But here's a really cool
that's great.
90s item there. Love the 90s item stuff. And so I have a... a growing Kiss makeup collection.
I wouldn't say small anymore.
I thought, well, I got the Kiss Glam Light stuff. I have the Sonic Boom makeup.
Yes.
I thought I'm going to get the Kiss makeup from that. And there was a couple packages released. There was red packaging and there was purple packaging. So I may have to get the other one at some point. But yeah, a lot bigger than I thought. I thought this was going to be a smaller package, but this is pretty good.
Well, it's because the stuff itself does not take up that much space, but the package and the graphic is huge.
Okay, now, to me, this is the kind of stuff we need to see going forward in 2024.
Yeah.
Because this is something that you can clearly see would have been, hanging on the shelf during, Halloween time, fall season. That's in the costume store, costume stop.
For sure.
That's what we need to see more of happening is, more Kiss stuff on the shelves in stores.
Yes, in person.
I think Kiss did a really good job at making us focus on the tour merch, tickets, pay-per-view, that kind of stuff. But hopefully Pop House will give us the more generalized stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I love buying big, expensive things, but sometimes you just got to buy some small, cheap, disposable
the cheap stuff brings you just as much joy.
Where's the new Halloween makeup set that we can buy and dress our nephews up?
Yeah, like at Party City or something.
And dress me up at Party City. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So this gives me those vibes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, not everything has to be super well done, super expensive. Well, collect them all. It's like, just give me some shit to use for a minute, would you?
Yeah, and bring back stuff that's like accessible to normal people that aren't rich. You know what I mean? Like that. All of that expensive stuff is really cool, and if you can afford it and you want it, that's great. But
for real,
I'm sorry, most people can't. So stuff like this that, like you said, you can just buy in person for a reasonable price is really cool.
Totally agree. Okay, here we go. Small deck of cards? Did I buy a deck of cards? A cassette. It's a cassette.
You figured it out before you...
it's Kiss My Ass on cassette.
Oh, cool. Yes, I do remember you
pretty sure I don't have...
I don't think you do.
Kiss My Ass on cassette.
That's awesome.
That is really cool. I think it's time to do our review of Kiss My Ass pretty soon.
Okay.
In the next month or two, we'll be doing a review of Kiss My Ass, I think. We'll see. But so this was one cassette. I'm always saying, I already have that. I need this. Well, this is one that I didn't have. So thank you, Kiss Museum, for hooking me up with that. And old catalogs.
Aww.
Oh, and promo stuff. Oh, I didn't buy this. This is extra. Oh my gosh.
What is it?
This is a Rock City, the movie, Detroit Rock City. It's a promo sticker.
That is badass.
This I already have, but this he's throwing in extra stuff for me.
Yeah.
What's this? It's not a sticker, but it's just a little Kiss.
You sure it's not like a decal?
No, it's just a little Kiss.
Yeah.
Logo.
Like bookmark, maybe?
This is super cool. So here are the catalogs. Oh my gosh, there's more. Jeez! Kiss and Live 4. My gosh, guys. So these are the catalogs that Jeb and I would go through.
Look through.
This one specifically, 08.
08, yeah.
Can you behind the wax pack right there? Can you find the one from Winter 08?
Yep. It's just a cover.
Because the cover came off. The rest of it's behind it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. It was
already broken.
It was already ripped.
Okay. Yeah, it's beat up.
That's the one.
That's the same thing, though.
That's the one.
You still had it.
That Jeb and I...
Aww.
And that's like one of the very first ones, too, because it was like 06, 07 when I just inadvertently became a Kiss collector. I wasn't like actively like, oh, I'm a Kiss collector now. It was just, no, I have things now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was because of the Kiss catalog. So here's a brand new catalog.
That's amazing.
Dude, I tell you what, when Jeb comes down, he and I are going to sit down, look through this, reminisce through the Toot Tunes, got it. Those figures, got it. Those shot glasses, got it. All those shirts, got them. Yeah, no, I want to go back through and just circle all these. Here's one of the last ones that we got with Dad.
Nice. What?
This is a holy grail item. If you ever see me open this on the podcast, on the YouTube channel, you know I've reached my peak. This is the Kiss electronic pinball.
Yes.
I have been searching high and low for this Kiss electronic pinball for years, ever since it came out. And it says, see website for price. Because back in the day, it was like $50 or like $75 or something, and that back then to me was like $100.
Right.
So I knew back then I would never get it, but this is one of those things, kind of like the Gene Simmons Battle Axe, or the Axe Bass controller for Guitar Hero. That's one of the things when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want that, but you'll never get it. Well, when you're an adult, you gotta try. So seeing this now just reaffirms how much I want that.
Absolutely.
I'll never be the fan that has the 1977, 78
actual
Bally Kiss pinball machine.
Yeah.
I'm the fan that wants and will at some point. I will have this.
It will be mine.
Oh yes, it will be mine.
Great Wayne's World reference, babe. Thank you so much for that. Dude, okay. That's my future right there. Future Collector's Corner.
Yeah, we're manifesting.
Is the pinball.
Yeah, you're getting it.
This was so cool, man. My last Kiss museum package, I got some surprises and then some surprises. So we have...
Thank you, Peter. That's awesome.
Ace Frehley Origins Volume 1 promo little postcard here. Really super cool. Kiss 94 HJY radio station, so Providence, Rhode Island, I'm assuming. March 23rd, 97 on the reunion tour. It looks like a 20% off coupon there and a sticker. 2 of those. That's really cool. And then, like I said, promo sticker for the Rock City movie. And then a promo ad for Kiss Alive 4 Symphony Orchestra.
That's awesome.
It's the little things, guys. It's the little things in life. This has been a great, fun episode. There was more to it than I thought.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us for an impromptu episode of the Kiss Army Things podcast. Let me know what you guys have been Kiss collecting as far as Kiss goes. Rob was actually saying that he slowed down.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about getting the guys together and doing a Kiss collecting episode. But I want to hear from you guys, what has changed with your Kiss collecting habits? Have they changed? Are you slowing down? Are you like me and you're doubling down? What are you going after more? I want to know. And then, of course, any comments on this Kiss news, let me know as well. Because
so much news this
there
week.
was more Kiss news. It's funny how you take a 1 week break doing a show from 73 and you do one interview, and then in that amount of time, it's like
everything pops off.
Kiss is on the charts. And you got Tommy Thayer in a new music video.
Yep.
All this, you got Gina Paul doing big interviews. Gina and Steve-O getting together. They even ate at Rock and Brews after that interview.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Super awesome stuff happening in the Kiss world. No shortage of news. No shortage of fun. You guys are in the right place. Kiss Army Things. Like, follow, subscribe. Please follow us on social media every day almost. We're posting content. But really, again, the Patreon is where you can help support us directly as far as improving the show. We're looking to get another microphone, another hard drive, just some things to help keep the show going. And so with your support, we'll go as long as you guys want. But like I said, you can find some extra content there. And Daphne, is there anything else you want to say as we're closing up and wrapping up?
I don't think so. Thanks for being here, guys.
Have a great summer. Enjoy the warm weather. And, I got to do something real quick. I forgot in the last episode, Kiss Merch of the Year.
Oh, okay.
Kiss Merch of the Year.
I didn't know we were still going after the 90s.
I'm kind of continuing on because I want to see how long I can go.
Okay.
I will stop if I don't have anything.
So we're treating it like the 2000s now, basically,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yes, basically. I'm showing something. Yes, in the 90s, I was showing something from the 90s, but now that we're in the 100s as far as episodes go,
now that it's
I'm
102,
just showing something.
it's okay.
Yeah, so it's 102. I should show something from 02. Well, last time with Charlie, I didn't show anything from 01.
Okay.
Because we were in 73. There was no Kiss March in 73. Right. So now, today, I'll show something real quick from 01 and 02. Just real quickly, because we are wrapping up. And I think I may have already shown this on the show before. But since we're already showing a bunch of Kiss stuff, might as well show more. But this was an insert into the Farewell Tour book in 01.
Yes.
So this I should have showed in episode 101 to correspond with 2001 when the Farewell Tour started. Obviously, Peter Criss was the drummer, was the Catman. When his contract was not renewed, Eric Singer was brought back in. He was put in the Catman makeup to finish out the shows. Obviously, there's no reason to create a new character for the first time on the last tour. That makes no sense.
Right.
The band started with the original 4 characters. It should end with the original 4 characters.
100%.
And so Eric Singer came in, took the job, and did his This part says, "It's an honor to be back for the final farewells. I dedicate these shows to all of you and the Catman.
Aw.
Peace, Eric Singer."
That's very cool.
So I think Paul did his makeup for this photo shoot.
He killed it.
And
So clean.
Eric did it for the rest of the time after that. But yeah, so this would have been inserted into tour books following Eric Singer's involvement into the band. And then somebody even told me that when they did the soundboards, Tokyo soundboard, in Japan, they released a mini tour book version that included this tour insert.
Yes, that's so cool.
It was like that level of detail.
That's awesome.
It is fantastic. And then if you would, right next to the Hottest Show on Earth binder right there, where it says Kiss Alive Forever, the complete touring history, go ahead and grab that. So this is the item for '02.
Okay.
It gets a little hairy in the early 2000s because Kiss wasn't really doing a whole lot as far as merchandise goes. But Kurt Gooch and Jeff Suze released the entire complete touring history of Kiss up until that point. So in here you have tour dates, set lists, attendance records, information relating to every single Kiss show up until that point.
So detailed.
Which,
oh my gosh.
the level of work that went into this must have been incredible. And at the time, see, Dad bought this and put it back in his collection. And when I saw it, I was like, that is insane. I wanted to sit there and look at it for hours, but he wouldn't let me because he knew that I would probably, bend pages or slobber on it or whatever it was. But he was like, no, I got to put this back. Well, now it's mine. I think it was Jeb's, actually, and then I got it from Jeb. But, yeah, what an incredible book. It's pretty rare to find one at this point, so I'm kind of glad that I have Dad's, and it's in this good a condition. But I kind of forgot that it was in '02, so I was like scrambling, what am I going to show for '02? And had to just sit there and just meditate for a minute and just think.
Let it come to you.
And I had a few items too, because I'm pretty sure this wallet right here that you got me for Christmas this past year is also from '02.
Yeah.
So there's a few items there, but yeah, that's the one I'm going to show for this item here, guys. Thank you again for joining us. I know it's been a little bit longer than we anticipated, but still a fun show. It's always fun being here talking. Again, if this was my job, I'd be happy.
Absolutely.
If this was my job, I'd be happy. So thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And then we'll see you in episode 103, where we're going to be going back to 73.
Again.
We're going back to the Coventry.
Interesting.
So that's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned. We'll see you then, episode 102. Until then, my name is Xander.
My name is Daphne.
Peace out, guys.